So I have a question, brother. What give me access to the thought which is going at this point of time in your mind?
I am thinking about my past.
What do you mean by past? Say?
It's a very specific memory.
Which memory? You would like to share about it?
Memory is I made a friend like I met you, right, like
Uh huh.
randomly. So I met a very random friend, and then she invited me to her house for a
Huh.
Christmas gathering.
Huh.
She's Christian,
Uh huh.
and when I went there, I realized that I really felt at home
Uh
at her
huh.
place.
Uh huh.
And right now, and this was like almost 8 years ago.
Mhm.
And today I was thinking about that night because I had certain realizations about myself.
Mhm.
And in order to articulate those realizations,
Mhm.
right, I just imagined myself in my friend's house
Mhm.
talking to her parents and
Mhm.
letting them know everything that I was feeling at that time.
Mhm.
Because I come from a family where I couldn't always express everything that I was feeling.
Mhm.
But sometimes, what happens that you meet someone and they invite you into their family,
Mhm.
and their family really likes you, and then you feel like, should I express myself in front of them? But you don't do that.
Mhm.
But later on in life, you realize
But I
that
have a question here, brother. So normally, why we don't express ourselves in front of our family members?
because for me, it's a very specific thing.
Uh huh.
You get interrupted a lot.
Uh huh. Right.
You get interrupted in the sense that, oh, why did you say that? Do you mean that? So that used to really hurt me because I'm like, why can't you just listen to the entire thought? Why do you feel this need to interrupt me in the beginning or in middle or even in
Even without me completing the point.
yeah,
Exactly.
not even the point,
Ah.
statement,
Even the statement.
thought.
Forget the point.
Forget the point. Point
Oh,
is
even the
something.
line.
Yeah, point.
Uh-huh.
Point is something you come to when the discussion reaches a certain situation,
Because you're
right?
not allowed to speak only.
Yeah, you are allowed like 15 to 20 words
Ah.
or like three sentences, and
Uh-huh.
within those three sentences, if you don't say something that they like,
Ah.
you will be interrupted.
Ah. And they need quick
Quick,
sentences.
yeah,
Yes,
very
quick
quick,
sentences.
quick
Not
sentences.
thoughtful, not peaceful, quick.
Just
Right.
excessive emotional energy
Uh-huh.
that is generated towards a certain outcome,
Uh-huh.
and you know that outcome. Why?
Uh-huh.
Because you've lived in the same family for years,
Yeah.
so you know that outcome. You
Yeah.
know where that thought is coming from.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I at the I so I'm thinking about my past in the sense that I am articulating certain thoughts,
Uh-huh.
but
But I have a question here. So is that thought making you happy or unhappy now?
very happy,
Very happy.
very happy.
So there is a sadness in that thought. There was anger in that
Of
thought.
course, there's a lot of sadness. There's a
Uh-huh.
lot of anger.
Uh-huh.
That sadness and anger I feel throughout the day.
Uh-huh.
But then, as soon as the night comes,
Uh-huh.
I put myself in my past
Uh-huh.
self
Uh-huh.
on a day where I felt very happy,
Uh-huh.
and then I articulate those thoughts
Uh-huh.
in that moment.
Hmm.
Like I am saying those same words to myself, right? Like certain realizations that you have. Like you as a person have realizations.
Right.
So you want to articulate it to them, to yourself.
Hmm.
But in my head, the way it's working right now is that I go into my past,
Huh.
I go into that moment
Huh.
where I should have done something that I didn't. So
Uh-huh.
it's a bit of a delusion,
Uh-huh.
right? And then I articulate everything in that moment,
Correct.
which I didn't, but which is something that I feel in this moment.
But I have a question here. So you're doing this by choice.
Yes.
But don't you feel that this is an assumption now? This is not the statement. Assumption. Don't you feel that this very way of thinking will take you away from what is there right now in front of you?
I know it does.
It does.
It does. It
So it's still
definitely does.
so it's by choice or without choice?
It's by choice. It's by choice and also without choice. In the sense that without choice, in the sense that I've lived my life through certain habits.
Right.
That I wake up at this time,
Mm.
I spend certain moments with myself, then I do something, then I do that,
Uh-huh.
which is what I'm doing here. I wake up at a certain time, I drink my chai, I drink my BD, and then I go out and I go out looking for something to do,
Uh-huh.
which has been my life since childhood,
Ah.
right? Like even when I was in school,
Uh-huh.
I would reach school and I would be like, okay, what is it to do here?
Ah.
Right? So that's my mental state. So these days I wake up in the morning, I have certain old thoughts in my head. I listen to those thoughts, but I choose to go along anyway. And then I find some place to paint, I find some place to sing, and I feel certain emotions. I push them back. I'm like, I'll deal with it later.
Okay, may I interrupt you here very respectfully?
Yeah.
So I remember you sharing with me that you were in Bombay also and doing something in this drama industry called
Yeah.
Bollywood. I think half the India is running on Bollywood only. Huh?
I call
The
it Bollywood as
mothers,
well.
the mothers are learning how to behave with the kids, and then the girls are learning how to behave with the husbands,
Yeah.
and mother-in-law is learning how to behave with their daughter-in-laws from the Bollywood. So you have any connection with the Bollywood?
I do.
What connection you have?
I have a connection in the sense that Bollywood taught me how to be a good son. And my definition of a good son was someone who does not, someone who doesn't bother their parents a lot. Someone who does not make their parents feel their presence that much. Someone who doesn't make them feel tense about him.
So I have a question here. Which memory of Bollywood is actually helping you to shape this consciousness of your life that you want to, you are a better son because of Bollywood? Which memory?
Oh, I've let go of them because that
Oh,
has hurt me a lot.
But you have still have
Bollywood
the
has
learnings.
hurt me a lot
Why?
because at moments of my life where I should have screamed or shouted against my parents, I chose to take the high road, and that was something that was taught to me by Bollywood. So
Do you think that Bollywood is really good for the culture of this country?
I can't make that statement
Uh-huh.
because there has been a time in my life where I believed that it is, and I still do believe in a certain sense, in a broader sense.
But
Because
how can the culture, I'm sorry interrupting you here, but how can the culture is so influenced by a compact dramatization of the content? A film is a very compact dramatization of the content, very compact. It's like very high, fast, compact dramatization, and you get influenced by that. Oh my God! And you try to accept that, or you are expecting that kind of dramatization in your life. That doesn't come
no,
in
it
every
doesn't.
life.
No, it doesn't. No, so that's where my views are a bit like vague, I guess, because I felt that even if, because I've seen world cinema, it's not that I've always held on to Bollywood to my heart. I've not done that. I thought
I did that. Huh.
You know, everybody does that. We hold on to Bollywood, but I had that phase in my life where I was like, I'm gonna not hold on to Bollywood. I'm
Right.
gonna look at world cinema, and I did. I watched a lot of American cinema. I watched a lot of European and Russian and Middle Eastern cinema, and even Spanish and Latin America. So I guess maybe my mind was very strong to the homeland or whatever it is, Bollywood, but it was never the case. I was never biased towards Bollywood. But I realized that even in other cultures, the same thought persists of a guy who either holds on or does not expresses his emotions or allows his emotions to affect his judgment. So I felt that there were two options. Either you are completely in control of your emotions, or you are a person who acts according to his emotions and accepts whatever that comes with it. And I do know that the second choice is is a more brave choice. But I realized both of it comes from the same perspective. that the purpose of you as a young person is to live with your emotions rather than let them go completely and start again.
Give me one example of emotion. One example.
Um,
Is fear emotion?
Fear is an emotion.
Is pride emotion?
Pride is an emotion.
Is your courage emotion?
Courage is also an emotion. Yeah. Yeah.
Peace emotion?
Peace is a state of mind, I feel.
It's not emotion.
It's not an emotion. Peace is not an
So
emotion.
very absence of emotion is peace.
I wouldn't. Not always. Sometimes you can be at peace even if you are going through emotions, but that comes with practice, and I think that's something that's very hard for men.
What kind of practice you're talking about?
I don't know. I've seen women in my life, and women are very good at being at peace while at the same time feeling emotions.
I have this question, brother. You're a wise person. Tell me, don't you feel that women, they have an undue advantage of biological undue advantage because they have periods at very early age of their life, 14 and 15, and it's a biological undue advantage they have, which fluctuates their mood, and very early in their life they get trained how to manage their mood. But boys have nothing like this, and we have this disadvantage that we don't know what is mood management, what is mood, and this and that, and we are expected to be in a good mood always. Do you agree with this?
No. Because I grew up with a mother who was very expressive about her moods. So even though I did not have that undue advantage of periods, I had the knowledge of that living with my mother.
Well, did your mother speak about this very openly with you?
No. But it's but that's the advantage men have. Men have the advantage of seeing life from a perspective of a, you know how Shiva says that there is no concept of time, that time is circular. It's not linear. Time is not linear. It's not like this thing happened or that thing happened. So in my sense that, yeah, I do agree that women have that advantage of knowing mood swings and knowing like their emotions. But men also have advantage.
Right.
Men have the advantage of seeing time as it is rather than always experiencing it.
Women can't do that?
In the sense that men dissociate sometimes.
But how can we answer? We need a woman to answer that question.
Yeah,
On
women
behalf
are
of women, we can't answer.
a woman is very important to know yourself as a man. But if you are like, let's say, even if you understand your mother, even if you understand any woman you've loved, you would understand in a certain sense that time is not linear. So men have that advantage. Men have the advantage of noticing time from like as a dissociated perspective, which is something I think women don't have, because women are always living in the present. It's not that they can't look into the future. Yes, they can, but they can. But
now I got it.
but women are very aware of the present. Men are not. Men have the ability to just let go of present and just dissociate
From the present.
from the present. We've all done that as children.
Yeah.
If you have suffered something, if you have gone through something, you will be able to dissociate from it. All men have that ability. I've seen that. I know that. I mean, my experience with men, because I've lived around men and I've worked with men, I've realized that the one ability that men have that women don't have is the ability to dissociate from the present. That they are able to often go in the past or go in the future.
It's very nicely put in the words.
Yeah. So, but I that's what I'm using these days. You know why I keep talking about when I go into my past and I use that? I'm using my ability as a man to go back into a place in time where I was very happy. I was very happy with my friend, with her parents, in their house, celebrating Christmas, drinking wine. And now, right now, as I'm drinking wine, I am able to go back in that moment
To
Where
optimize the present moment.
yeah,
To optimize the present moment.
yeah,
optimize the present
yes,
moment.
yes. To optimize you asked me this question, right? Is this by choice? It is by choice because I'm trying to optimize
So
my
the
present.
answer to this question, that what's in your thought, it's something which is optimizing your present moment.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good answer. It took
Yeah,
me
yeah,
15
yeah.
minutes to get that answer, brother.
Yeah. I mean,
Thanks for the answer, brother. It's like the quality of question decides the quality of person, and the quality of answers also decide the quality of person.
this is the
You're a wise person. Yeah.
you are a very like good question person because
Uh-huh.
you were so I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
tell me. Yeah, tell me more about it.
you made me see my thought
Uh-huh.
as like an entire arc.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Instead of a random burst of like
Uh-huh.
blah 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 blah,
Uh-huh.
you help me organize my arc.
Uh-huh.
We have an arc of thoughts.
Correct.
Like we have to have an arc of
Right.
thoughts, right?
Right. We have to have. Yeah.
Yeah, thoughts can't be rain. Thoughts cannot be clouds.
No.
You know, clouds
No.
move.
They are individual but
Yeah,
tangled.
Yeah,
Huh.
but thoughts are like rainbow.
Hmm.
Rainbow, even though it seems like magical, it's still an arc. It is
Yeah.
a scientific like you know how we're
Like
science.
they're waves. It's like
Yeah,
waves. It's
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like
it's like they're together also, and then they're individual
Huh.
also. Yes.
and they're magical also, but they're scientific also.
And every thought has emotion attached to it.
I don't think so.
Can you have a thought without the emotion?
Can you have a thought? Yes, you can.
That's knowledge.
It can't
That's
even
information.
information, or it could because I've lived my life in a way that's where I'm always listening to people. So sometimes a thought can come simply because you listen to something that you found interesting at that time. So finding something interesting is an emotion? If that is the case, then yes, every thought has an emotion.
Can you stop your thought?
Can you stop your thought? With time. It takes time. You can't stop thought, but you can at least learn to guide it.
But imagine you have a thought in your mind, and then you say, "I don't want to think about this now. I'm stopping it."
You can't do that.
Can't do that.
You can't do that.
I disagree.
I mean,
I disagree.
If you try to do that, you can't do that.
I disagree.
I don't know. What do you think about
I think we can do that.
You can do that.
Yes.
To stop a thought.
Yes.
But I think,
The only way you can achieve the absence of thought state, only when you learn first how to cut the thought, stop the thought, and there has to be always something, a belief system, which is you believe in, and you believe in that belief, and then you stop it, and that very beliefs not allow you to think only because that's a habit you are developing now. Example, take a thought of fear.
yeah.
The belief is I can fight the tiger only if the tiger is outside the tent, brother.
Yeah.
That's a belief. There's a story behind it. There's a memory behind it. There's 36 nights alone in later behind it.
Yeah.
So that one liner comes from the very compact 5 to 6 years of stories and belief. So beliefs doesn't come overnight,
Yeah.
right? So moment my consciousness say that I can fight the tiger only if the tiger is outside the tent, not in my mind. So I cut the thought. If the thought is fear, if the thought is sadness is different. If the thought is happiness is different.
No, I agree with that. Then I agree with what I meant that you can't stop a thought is that sometimes thoughts have no emotion behind it because that thought simply can be your creativity, right?
Yeah, you allow them to flow.
Yeah, sometimes creativity or even I wouldn't even say creativity because I want to make it more universal. Sometimes it's something that is new, right? When you learn about something new, you will have thousands of thought going in different directions, and you can't stop
Exactly.
them.
You can't
stop.
you-
You can't stop them.
You cannot. The
Yeah,
state
no.
where your mind is getting something new,
Yeah,
you
fear-
cannot stop
Yeah,
your thoughts.
yeah.
You think about it.
When you are learning something new,
Yeah,
when you are learning about something new, or even when you are in a place where, even when you're in a new place, for example, let's say you are a coastal boy and you move to the mountains, you go to the mountains, you start walking in the mountains, at that time you won't be able to stop your thoughts.
Yeah.
and it will be impossible.
Yeah.
Why? Because the body is in a new state. The eyes are seeing something new.
Yeah.
Everything is new.
Yeah.
So you can't stop thoughts. But you are also right that you can stop fear. Though why? Because fear is something that comes when we that is a very different state. Like you are in your house,
Exactly.
you are working on something that you have been thinking about for a long time.
Yeah.
You are building a house of cards,
Yeah.
and your fear tells you that your house of cards will fall.
Yeah.
And at that time, you will definitely be able to stop your thought
Right.
that no, this house of cards will not fall.
Right.
I will complete this house of cards. So that I do. I guess I agree with you that you can stop thoughts when you are doing an action that you want to do, but you can't stop your thoughts when you are in a new space, when you are with the flow. When you are with the flow,
Yeah.
you can't stop
You
thoughts.
can't, the machine will work automatically.
Yeah, and you shouldn't also. You shouldn't also.
But if 10 people are going through the same scene, all 10 have a different memory, all will have a different thoughts,
Yeah,
right? So all 10 people are watching the world differently,
yeah.
correct? But we expect from people to react to the world same.
Yeah, that's something I've never been able to understand.
It's beyond your understanding.
Yeah. And it's like it's not even that they expect you to react the same. It's like they expect you to come to the same conclusion. That's what makes me feel that scares me about the
And
world.
few people, they go one step forward, they assume that you're already with the consensus.
Ah,
They
yeah.
assume.
Yeah. It's like that is something that, because people have no care, no sense of consciousness as to how this person's energy is and how we can mold it. And it's a process that is very easy. If you let go of this idea that everybody will react the same, you will be able to open up one side of your consciousness, which is like listening. Then, if you let go of the idea that everybody should reach the same conclusion, you will be able to let go of another side of your brain, which is assumption. And it's a very easy process. It comes purely from listening. But to this day, I've never been able to understand that even people who are good at listening, they have not discovered this process. They have not discovered to open the first two layers of their mind. Like the first layer is like, this is how you should react. Second layer is, this is the conclusion that you should reach. And these are the two layers that are very easy to let go. If you are listening. If you are listening, then you can easily let go of these two layers. But to this day, I'm surprised that these are the two layers that people hold on to the most. And I don't know what is the solution for that.
I think the solution lies in individuality only, and it's a individual.
I don't like individuality that
But
much.
yeah, because unless and until you are not disconnecting yourself from the whole system, it's like boys are cutting their hairs and girls are growing their hair. That's a system. So you have trained to stay diverted and trained not to ask questions. So unless and until you don't associate yourself completely from the system, from the humanity, and then watch like an alien, right? And then try to make a sense out of it, you will find that many things are senseless.
Yeah.
But you are assumed, accepted from the world that here you, whether you agree or disagree, whether it's making sense or nonsense to you, you have to accept it. That very acceptance shows that only country is not, it's just country is free, but the people are not free.
Yeah.
The country is free, but the people are not free. Because you are assuming. Very assumption is against my will.
Yeah. No, but the thing is that assumptions are treated as intelligence in our country. In our country, assumptions that you make about people are treated as your cultural intelligence. It's not even truth.
Right. Yeah,
It is cultural intelligence.
that's my power.
Yeah, that's my power. I come from this place. This is how we look
So
at
I know.
people.
That's the reason I know.
Yeah, this is what we know. This is what we know, and it is your job to prove me otherwise. So that's a very dangerous thing,
Yeah, I agree.
and that exists in every culture.
I agree.
People hold on to that.
Yeah.
They don't even admit to themselves that they don't hold on to that.
And very assumption gives birth to miscommunication. The world is at the
Yeah.
peak of miscommunication.
The peak of miscommunication, as you said, is thinking of your assumptions as intelligence.
Yeah.
Assumptions are treated as intelligence, sir.
Yeah.
You have to realize.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know, right? Like,
Yeah, I agree. This
in
person-
our
yeah,
culture, assumption is intelligence.
I know.
Assumption is intelligence.
You don't teach me, I know.
I'm not teaching you.
No,
I'm
no,
just,
no. This is
I'm just-
assumption.
I'm
Come
la-
on, this is assumption.
I'm laughing at the fact.
No, no, no. This is an assumption that you don't teach me. I know.
Yeah, I know you
that's an
know.
assumption.
But
I'm not on you and me.
yeah.
I'm not on you and me. It's like a father telling the son, "You don't teach me. I know.
Ah.
I know that you
But
don't." That's an assumption.
as a son,
As a father, the assumption of the father is that I know that you don't know.
Oh.
That's an assumption,
Yeah.
right? So I'm not on you and me.
And as a son,
Uh-huh.
I have to be okay with the fact
Uh-huh.
that my father thinks that I know you don't know. It's a weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is what our this is like, I'm talking about conventional wisdom.
Uh-huh.
Conventional wisdom teaches us that this is just how fathers are. Of course, they're going to tell you that you don't know. So you prove them that you know, right? And that makes me laugh sometimes. Like, if you know everything, why are you holding on to the facade? Right?
But even sons are assuming, sons in India are assuming that the fathers know everything. And they're supposed to answer everything.
Yeah,
they're
because
supposed to help
because the
and
sons
guide,
because
guide every
because
time.
the sons are taught that your purpose right now is to act like you don't know.
I'm your guiding light.
Yeah, the ultimate intelligence for a son is